Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Your local bedhead here. There's a moment in REEKID's video. I was watching it. I wasn't doing a reaction, but I was watching it. It was recommended to me because someone said, hey, you need to check out a certain comment he made. And I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and check out the first, at least the beginning of it. And I came across the comment. This is a weird comment, for sure. And in the video, REEKID even says that he forgets sometimes what he says. So, I'm not going to make conspiracy theories. I'm not going to make theories about what it could mean. But if I'm going off of, like, just how he says it, it does sound kind of suspicious. And again, I have nothing against REEKID. I'm not saying this to, like, start shit with another channel. I'm just curious to know what, in context, what does this mean? You know what I mean? And, now, for the REEKID video, the reason why I wasn't going to do a reaction to this video was because I wasn't all too big of a fan of the REEKID paranormal investigation with the boys. It was like fine, but it was just not for me. It was one of those videos that, again, where I said the boys are hit and miss sometimes. That to me was more of a miss than a hit. And again, I have nothing against REEKID. REEKID, you know, back then I used to watch him with the boys. He was hilarious. But this is a moment I'm curious to know if he could ever comment. It's up to him if he wants to comment or not. But if he ever wants to comment on this, I'm curious to know what you meant by this. I'll play it for the audience so they can hear, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Us walking through this building for the first time, and as you can tell by a lot of people are like, dude, you seem so out of it. And I'll explain why I kind of was. I was not doing well right at the point of this recording, just in my own head. But on top of that, I was genuinely freaked out by being in where I was at. I used to do like a handful of those, like, oh, let's go explore a abandoned place. And that felt more comforting than doing what we were doing, because we're still in a populated area. We're in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know if we're dealing with, like, if we're going to end up dealing with a couple of homeless drug addicts or...
Which is fair. That's a fair thing to be afraid of. I mean, that's genuinely one of the reasons why I'm afraid to go to actually some abandoned buildings, is because abandoned buildings have people who are homeless sleeping in them. And some of those homeless people might be cooked up on something. Not saying all of them are, obviously, but that could be a very huge possibility. And you don't want to ever be in, like, the path of somebody who's just who's scared or freaked out or up on something that could harm you, right?
Just complete and utter cretins, like, running up to the place that we're filming at. And I don't know how badly I'm gonna get scared by all the, like, ghost stuff we have placed around.
Now, that was the comment that I was asked to take a look at. I don't know what to make of it. Now, obviously, we could go with the easy answer, which is they have paranormal investigation equipment. I thought the same thing at first. Then I started thinking, but most of the equipment they're bringing along with them when they're ready to use them. They're not just placed around, right? They're not just sitting around the building. They might have had one or two, like the music box, when they were kind of standing in the room. So, like, those might have been what he was talking about. But also, if you noticed in the video, there are a lot of moments when something is happening on the outside of the building and they run out to go see what's going on. Even, I think, during my reaction to this video, I said that that was kind of odd. And clearly, if there was somebody out there, there were many places they could have hid and gotten away from them.
Another thing is, I'm getting up to the place that we're filming at, and I don't know how badly I'm gonna get scared by all the, like, ghost stuff we have placed around.
I don't know what he means by that. Like, again, the easy answer would be to say the investigation equipment. Spirit box, REM pod, Estes method, things like that. That's my first assumption. But if there's more context to this, it kind of sounds like there could be more context to this if I wanted to make more context. Obviously, I can't just make assumptions because I just don't know. But if I'm going by the video and what I saw, I remember them taking the equipment with them when they were ready to use the equipment. I don't remember things being placed around the building unless I'm missing something, right? Like, even with the music box, they placed it around the building when they were ready to use the music box. It wasn't like it was already out there and placed, right? I don't know. The boys actually have been known to set stuff up. Okay, they actually had a video where they went to an abandoned Japanese hotel, and there were people running around the building, and even you can see them in glimpses of the video. And I'm pretty 100% positive that those people were actually pointed out and admitted by some of the boys that, yes, they had set up some things to make a spooky video. So, I'm not even saying this as in, like, I've debunked them. I'm just saying this as in, I guess we could probably go ahead and assume if his words are kind of leaning in more towards the idea that they had stuff already set up for them to be spooked by, because it already sounds like in this video that a lot of the stuff was kind of... So the way this video is beginning to sound is that it was set up. Their reactions, their jump scares, those might have been real, but the people making them jump scare might have not been real, right? It might not have been a ghost. It might have actually been someone on the outside of the building. It might have been things they had set up inside the building to make noises and freak them out and things like that.
And I don't know how badly I'm gonna get scared by all the like ghost stuff we have placed around.
I mean, it sounds like you would expect. That's exactly how it sounds. I'm like sitting here trying to think, does he mean the equipment? No, because REEKID wasn't all too spooked about the equipment. If anything were to have freaked him out, it would have been the stuff that felt set up. I'm not going to try to put words in REEKID's mouth. Again, I got nothing against the guy, but when I hear comments like this, and I'm trying to be more someone who likes to point this kind of stuff out, it does sound like that. There is no getting around it. So let me know in the comments section, do you think this is a stretch? Do you think this is a little bit crazy? Do you think, can you believe it? Let me know in the comments down below what you personally think after hearing this. Again, I would never have known this unless someone pointed this out to me. So I got to thank that person for sending me the link. He could be talking about the typical equipment, but he also could be insinuating or hinting at something a little bit more than that. Or maybe if Josh wants to comment, Josh Dub or Molly or whoever wants to comment, maybe they can kind of, you know, emphasize on what he meant right there. There's so many ways you can take it, but to me, it sounds exactly how it sounded. Maybe a stretch, maybe not. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Please do take care.
If you can't, can't speak, can't answer through, you won't be meant dead.